I really didn't want to see my sisters with their drunk husbands when we arrived at the party. Their children. All right, let me tell you what went down about 4 years ago now. My folks decided to throw this big barbecue shindig, 'cause I guess that's just what old folks do. I really didn't want to go 'cause I can't stand my two sisters, their dumbass husbands, or their bratty kids. But the wife guilt-tripped me into it. Big mistake. So we show up late to this thing and there's already like 30 people there. My sisters and their idiot husbands are half in the bag, just shit-faced drunk. Mom's running around like a chicken with her head cut off trying to wrangle all the little rugrats aged 7 to 13. Smart man that he is. Dad's made a tactical retreat to the whirlpool part of the pool with a cooler full of brewskis. The wife and I are making boring small talk, sucking down margaritas, when my bitchy sisters start going off on us for being late, not wearing swimsuits, and killing the vibe. Whatever. Typical suburbia shit. About an hour in, a couple of the little monsters run up and shove some lady neighbor into the pool. She's pissed but keeps her cool, just grabs a towel and bails. My sisters and their douchebag husbands think it's hilarious. Few minutes later, I'm standing by the pool chatting with someone when I see 3 of the hellions barreling towards me out of the corner of my eye. I know I'm next on their hit list. Not hard to outsmart a bunch of dumbass kids, though. I just step aside at the last second and splash. All 3 of the little shits faceplant straight into the deep end. Most people start cracking up, myself included. But not my sisters. Oh no. The plastered drama queens start screaming their heads off because apparently 2 of the brats can't even swim. I'm not jumping in there in my street clothes, so I let other people fish the kids out. Well, the kids are wailing like banshees, and that's when shit really hits the fan. My drunk-ass brothers-in-law start cussing everyone out, especially me, for almost letting their dumb kids drown. Oh, and 2 of the twerps were filming this on their folks' iPhones, which are now chilling at the bottom of the pool. One of the idiots jumps in to try to get the phones, but his fat ass and drunk ass ain't gonna make that happen. No one else is helping 'cause my sisters are still screeching at everyone. I tell those dumb bitches that maybe they should have been watching their own damn crotch goblins, and if something happened it would have been on them, not me. We exchange some choice words, and the wife and I get the hell out of there. Last thing I see is the other brother-in-law falling on his face while still trying to yell at us. So now they're pissed I didn't just let their little brats knock me in the pool, fuck up my own phone, and go along with their fun. Screw that noise. Side note, Dad never got out of the damn hot tub through this whole thing. Smart man. I get it. They're just stupid kids and their jackass parents are the real problem here. But damn, I wish we hadn't gone at all. It's nice to see the folks, but I can't stand my jealous-ass sisters and their loser husbands. Lesson learned. No more family shindigs for this guy. Look, me and my sisters have always been like oil and water. They're a good 9 and 11 years older than me, so we were never tight. And their husbands? I mean, they're all right dudes, I guess, but we ain't got shit in common. I couldn't care less about the crap they're into and vice versa. But here's the real issue. All 4 of them are jealous as hell of our lifestyle. See, both my sisters are stay-at-home moms. Their husbands make decent bank, especially the one douchebag. But me and the wife, we both got good careers, no rugrats weighing us down, and we're smart with our cash. So we got a fat investment portfolio, take a couple nice vacations a year, and drive cars that ain't packed to the gills with kitty crap. It really chaps their asses. So they're always pulling this petty bullshit with us. Constantly. Honestly, the wife and I can't stand being around any of them. That's why I wanted to skip this whole damn barbecue thing in the first place. Just wasn't worth the hassle to me. But the wife, she's way more positive than I am, always wanting to see the good in people. I was hoping she'd finally be over it after this shit show, though. On the ride home, she was laying into them almost as much as I usually do. Maybe this fiasco finally opened her eyes. Now my old man, he's the fucking best. Real chill dude. He used to be in sales, so he loves yucking it up with folks. Likes to see everyone having a good time. He's loving retirement. Him and his buddies just kicked back and enjoyed the show, beers in hand. Mom's pretty cool too, but she was stressed to the max trying to deal with all this. The kids, yeah, they were all right. By the time we bailed, they were all glued to the TV. I think they're 7, 9, 11, 11, and 13. It was the middle three that tried to take me out. I bet that little 13-year-old ringleader put him up to it too. She's always stirring shit up. And yeah, I had to cut the story down to fit. But here's the deal with my folks. They're super outgoing, always looking for a reason to have people over. They got the perfect entertaining pad, and they're always throwing parties. They wanted to do a big 4th of July thing, but my one sister and her brood were on vacation. So this was basically 4th of July, the sequel. Had all the cheesy decorations, margarita machine, the works. They even promised the kids sparklers. The little monsters were the only kids there, though. All the neighbors are old farts like my parents. But yeah, end of the day, everyone pretty much agreed I wasn't the asshole here. Damn straight. Now for the update. This all went down about a month ago. Turns out my folks are saying all the kids are actually good swimmers and are in the pool constantly. Even the little 7-year-old, though I guess he still kinda sucks at it. My dumbass sister just claimed they couldn't swim to cover her own ass. Figures. But to be fair, none of the rugrats are allowed in the deep end, which is exactly where they all took a header. It was the 2 11-year-olds and the 9-year-old that actually tried to shove my ass in, too. After we bolted, I guess the party really went to shit. My wasted brother-in-law, the one that face-planted while screaming at us, had to go get his stupid mug stitched up at urgent care. Dude was too hammered to drive, so my poor old man had to cart his ass there. Pops was pissed, let me tell you. So later that night, my bitch of a sister starts blowing up the family group text, talking all kinds of shit. The dipshit husbands start chiming in too. Me and the missus just blocked their asses. Mom calls me up, all upset, 'cause she and Dad were getting caught in the crossfire. I don't blame her one bit. Well, my folks had finally had enough of their crap. They told my sisters and their idiot spouses that they needed to drag their asses over the next day, sans kids, to hash this shit out once and for all. Ma's orders. So the next day, Sunday, my folks demand that my sisters and their dumbass husbands schlep over to their place, minus the brats, to straighten some shit out and lay down the law. Mom's words, not mine. What happens? I get this half-assed sorry not sorry type apology from them through my mom's phone. My wife's there giving them the stink eye the whole time, which is probably the only thing that kept me from telling them to go fuck themselves sideways. Instead, I'm just like, yeah, thanks, whatever, 'cause I figure it's done. Big mistake. Huge. I go to unblock the assholes, and what do I get that same night? A text from one of the prick brothers-in-law saying their precious phones cost $1,000 to replace, and when am I gonna pay up? The ball's on this guy! I text back never, and forward the whole thing to my folks with a message that I'm 100% done with their shit. Me and the wife are going full radio silence with my sisters, their dipshit husbands. All of them. And I tell my parents not to even invite us to any family crap if they're gonna be there. Then I reblocked the whole lot of them. Well, that's when the shit tornado really kicked into high gear. My old man calls them up and tears them all a new asshole. He tells them the grandkids are banned from their house indefinitely, which is a big damn deal 'cause my mom watches the little monsters for free all the time. But here's the real kicker. Pops drops the bomb that me and the wife actually own the vacation house, not him and Ma. This absolutely blows their tiny minds 'cause apparently both my sisters and their families use the place constantly, even letting their freeloading friends crash there on the weekends. This was seriously out of character for my folks. They'd clearly reached their breaking point with my sister's crap. And just to be clear, I never wanted the gruesome twosome to know me and the missus owned the cabin. We bought it for my parents 'cause they always wanted a place in the mountains. Keeping that info on the DL was purely to avoid stirring up more family bullshit. Couple days after that, my sisters and their idiot husbands have the nerve to show up at our place, unannounced, to apologize in person. We were out to dinner, thank Christ, so they just left some note. Then one of my sisters actually has the balls to call me at work. Straight to voicemail, bitch. Anyway, we've decided no contact is the way to go for the foreseeable future. It's been about 3 weeks now, and honestly, I'm just done with all of them. They can collectively kiss my ass. But I gotta say, even though it's only been a month, cutting off those toxic clowns has made our lives so much more chill. I didn't even realize how much of their petty-ass drama was constantly bubbling in the background till it was gone. And don't get me wrong, they ain't evil or nothing, just exhausting and petty as all hell. I personally don't give a rat's ass if they use the cabin. Technically it's ours, but we got it from my folks, so they run that show. Me and the wife cover all the bills and taxes on it. Silver lining, though. At least now we got a plan for the property when my parents get too old to manage it. I was ready to take over the headaches of doling out weekends, fixing shit, all that. But now? Fuck it. We're just gonna sell the place, and if we want to go to the mountains, we'll rent an Airbnb like normal people. My folks, bless them, are pretty chill about most things. Real live and let live types. I figured they'll probably ease up on my sisters before too long, but that's their call to make. All I know is we sure as shit won't be showing up to any family gatherings while the gruesome twosome and their idiot husbands are still in the picture. But here's what really chaps my sisters' asses. They're probably pissing themselves thinking I'll cut off their access to the cabin. Not my problem. That's up to my folks. At least till they can't handle it anymore. Plus, it totally blows up my one sister's big dream of turning the place into some kind of family compound once we inherit it. I've known for ages she had delusions of building a bunch of houses up there. I never said shit, 'cause most of the lots ain't even zoned for that. But this property is fucking huge since it's at the end of the road. You could easily plop 3 houses on it, all with killer views. Okay, so where was I? Oh, right, my sisters and their bullshit apologies. Look, those two are about as genuine as a $3 bill. They don't give a flying fuck about patching things up. They just want to keep mooching off me and the folks. But as far as the cabin goes, that's my parents' call to make. I mean, sure, technically it's mine and I'm the one paying all the bills on it, but I bought it for them as a gift, so they get to decide who uses it and when. They're good people, my folks. They always dreamed of having a little retreat for the family. No way in hell they could have afforded it on their own, though. Me, I've been lucky money-wise. I save and invest like my life depends on it. Plus, I got this fat-ass bonus the year I sold my bachelor pad and shacked up with my then-girlfriend, now wife. So I could swing buying the cabin for my parents, no sweat. Honestly, I don't really give a shit if they let my freeloading sisters use the place. But I can't lie, it is pretty fucking satisfying seeing them squirm now that they know I could afford to buy it and never said a peep to them about it. Pops even went up there last week and changed all the lock codes. Now it's just him, Mom, me and the wife who can get in. Suck on that, bitches. As for my mom babysitting the brats, she told me her and Dad have been going over to my sister's places once a week to watch the kid. And once school starts up, she's planning to pick each little hellion up one day a week, take him back to her place and keep him for the evening. Says dealing with all 5 of them at once is too much, but one-on-one they're all right. Both my folks have made it crystal fucking clear that they're not having my sisters and their circus over to their house anytime soon. And you know what? They're loving the peace and quiet. My guess is they were already sick and tired of putting up with their crap and just used that shit show at the pool party as an excuse to finally do something about it. Oh, and get this. Some dumbass moderator over on RIM the asshole deleted my post because apparently the phones getting trashed counted as violence. Property damage my ass. I still don't get it. But fuck, I thought the shit had hit the fan before, but that was nothing compared to this past week. Strap in, 'cause this is gonna be a wild fucking ride. So here's the deal with my parents and money. They've always been crap at saving. I've been doing their taxes for years, so I know the score. Their house is paid off and they don't have much debt, but they didn't really put much away for retirement. They both get Social Security, and Dad's got a decent pension, plus a little bit of savings squirreled away. But it's not like they're sitting on some secret fortune. I even bought them a new ride a few years back as a retirement gift, so they'd have something nice to tool around in. First new car they'd had in like 20 years that they didn't lease. But my dumbass sisters, they're convinced the folks are fucking loaded and that they're gonna leave everything to the 2 of them, since I don't need it. So of course, they never bothered saving either. Well, turns out my oldest sister and her douchebag husband, the ones with 3 kids, have been living way beyond their means for a while now. Maxed out credit cards, behind on their car leases, the whole 9 yards. One of their rides is even about to get repoed. This fuckwit brother-in-law, he's always bragging about making 6 figures, but turns out he only pulls in like half that. So my sister comes crying to my mom on Tuesday, saying they need a loan. But that's not even the worst of it. Get this. She fucking admits that for the last 3 goddamn years, instead of just using our cabin on the weekends like we all thought, she's been renting that shit out once a month behind everyone's back and pocketing the cash. We're talking like $2,000 for a weekend. Easy 4 for a whole week. Unfucking believable. Oh, so now that I've cut her off from using the place, she's already had to cancel on one group, and she's shitting bricks thinking they're gonna lose everything. Well, boo fucking who. My folks aren't exactly in a position to bail her dumb ass out. And get this, my other sister knew she was renting out the cabin this whole time and didn't say a goddamn word. Gee, I wonder why. Probably 'cause she's been doing the same damn thing. I remember this one time I went up there to drop off an ATV I'd been fixing up. There was some random family staying there who claimed they were with my sister and her brood, and that they just went into town for something. At the time, I let it slide. Figured maybe she just let some friends use the place. But now I'm thinking that was bullshit too. I only found out about all this 'cause my poor parents are stressed to the max over it. Mom especially. Dad, he's just fucking pissed. But I know deep down he probably feels all betrayed and shit. And I bet he's embarrassed as hell that he can't really help his little princess out of this jam she got herself into. He did make it damn clear, though, that as long as he's calling the shots, neither of them are going to be using the cabin anytime soon. The folks gave me a heads up about all this 'cause they figured my sisters would come in groveling to me next. And sure as shit, they were right. Thursday rolls around and the gruesome twosome shows up at my place again. Sans husbands this time. And they fucking camped outside my door waiting for me to get home. So I'm standing there like, do I get into a screaming match with them right here in front of the neighbors, ignore them and let them cause a big scene banging on my door, or just let them in to get it over with? I went with option 3. Big mistake. So I let them in and I get this whole sob story from the older one, with the younger one backing her up, about why I just gotta let them use the mountain house again right away. Then they start laying into me about what a shitty brother I am, and how I need to step up and pay for their snot-nosed brats' college too, 'cause apparently that's just what family does. I let them say their piece, then I unloaded on them with everything the folks had told me. Shit got real fast. Denials, waterworks, screaming, cussing, the whole 9 yards. My fucking ears are still ringing from it, and this was 2 damn days ago. I ain't gonna lie, I said some really nasty shit to them. But not a word of it wasn't true. They finally fucked off after about an hour of this. Soon as they left, I hopped in the shower, then passed out on the bed. By the time I woke up, the wife was home. First words out of her mouth were that she'd had to block even more numbers 'cause my sisters were blowing up our phones with new ones. Then the folks texted me asking to call them. I'm sure my sisters fed them some bullshit version of what went down, but I just can't deal with hashing it all out again right now. I'm usually a pretty high-energy guy, but this family drama bullshit's got me beat, man. Today, all I could muster was a drive up to the cabin to slap a padlock on the front gate. I'm the only one with a key now. I figure that ought to be enough to keep my loser siblings away. They'd probably die of a coronary trying to walk the quarter-mile uphill to get to the house anyway. Fuck. Okay, new update time. This is from about 2 weeks after that last shit show. So after Tweedledee and Tweedledum stormed my castle, my folks hit me up to let me know they're officially done dealing with the vacation house. Seems the sisters had started hounding them again to let them use it. Basically, they just dumped the whole thing in my lap like, here, this is your fucking circus now. Up till now, they'd been keeping track of who was using it when, dealing with all the maintenance, replacing shit when it broke or wore out, all that happy horse shit. But now they've decided they're over being caught in the middle of all this petty crap. And I get it, I do. But I'd be lying if I said I wasn't a little pissed. 'Cause the whole point of that goddamn place was for them to have somewhere to relax and enjoy themselves. It was never supposed to turn into this kind of headache for them. They deserve to just kick back and have fun up there, not deal with my sisters and their bullshit. Ah, shit. Where was I? Right, so like I said, my folks bailed on dealing with the cabin and tossed that hot mess right in my lap. Which, I get it. I do. But it still chaps my ass something fierce. See, they used that place all the time. It was supposed to be their little slice of paradise to just kick back and enjoy the golden years, And I never gave a rat's ass that they let my sisters and their crotch goblins use it too. 'Cause in my head, that was my folks' call to make, even if I'm the poor sap whose name is actually on the deed. But now Now they can't even go up there without me being all up in their business, and that just ain't right. It changes the whole vibe of the place for them. So, you best believe I've gone full fucking Fort Knox on that cabin now. Like I said, I got this big-ass chain on the front gate with a monster lock even Houdini couldn't crack. Changed all the codes on the door pads, too. And get this, I even had a security company come out and rig the whole place up with cameras. Guy talked me into putting this big fuck-off cam right over the valley view. Ran my wallet a hell of a lot more than I planned on, but shit, can't put a price on peace of mind, right? They even put up signs all over saying the joint is under 24/7 video surveillance. Oh, and just to really twist the knife, I put this hardcore lock on the main water shutoff valve, too. I'd be proper fucked if I lost the keys to that thing, 'cause it'd be a bitch and a half to cut off. The wife and I are the only ones who have a set, and I ain't told another soul about it, not even the folks. Speaking of the gruesome twosome, I got 2 separate calls at my office from their dipshit husbands last week, still trying to wheedle their way into using the place like nothing ever happened. The older one really showed his whole ass. Apparently the dumb fuck had already gone up there with some of his douche bro pals for some kind of circle jerk boys weekend, but couldn't get in 'cause of the gate lock. Well, boo-hoo, cry me a river, asshole. Sounds like he was pretty pissed and embarrassed about it, though. Shocked he didn't just snap the lock off with his bare hands and Hulk rage alone. This fucking guy, I swear. One minute he's trying to butter me up. The next he's playing the victim card so hard, I'm surprised he didn't throw his back out. Then out of nowhere, he starts threatening to rip the gate right out of the goddamn ground. And he straight up admits they've been renting the place out to their freeloading friends, 'cause apparently they're hurting for cash. The balls on this motherfucker. He's all like, "You're ruining our business, and I need to pay their guests back." I'm just like, are you shitting me, bro? The fuck I will. I should have been recording that call, but I didn't know how to do it on the office line. Anyway, the other ass clown BIL didn't put up much of a fight when I shut his ass down. Sounded to me like my sister just put him up to it anyway. Probably couldn't take being told no again herself. Point is, I told both of those dicks in no uncertain terms that they ain't welcome at the cabin anymore and to quit fucking asking. But that just got me thinking, what's even the point of keeping that place at this point? The wife and I ain't gonna use it enough to make it worth the headache, and it's not like we'll be having any big happy family shindigs up there in this lifetime. I floated the idea of just selling it to the folks, and they basically just shrugged like, whatever man, you do you. I mean, I'd make a fucking killing if I did put it on the market. It's on 3 huge lots with these insane panoramic mountain views, and it's at the end of a private road. Doesn't get more prime than that. I'd probably sit on it for a bit longer, though, just so I'm not making any big decisions all hot-headed and shit. Plus, I ain't talking to the Wicked Witch of the West or her flying monkey sister right now anyway. Not planning to anytime soon either. Couldn't tell you what the deal is with them and the parents. Don't much care either. On a lighter note, me and the missus did have a nice dinner out with Ma and Pops last week. Went to some new bougie restaurant in town. It was actually pretty great. And miracle upon miracles. Not one word was said about any of this horse shit the whole night. Ma did bore us with the latest on the nibblings, though. Apparently, she's been picking them up from school and keeping them at her place a couple nights a week so my sisters get a breather. More power to her, I guess. But yeah, my bad this update was kind of a snooze fest. No big fire and brimstone come to Jesus moments or mic drops to report. Guess that's just life sometimes. Fucking way she goes. All right, jumping ahead to a month later now, just 'cause a couple of you nosy fuckers been hounding me for an update. So here's the deal. I ended up hiring this guy to keep an eye on the vacation house for me. He lives up in the area, looks after his folks, and I guess he manages a fuckton of other properties too. Some vacation rentals, some weekend spots like ours. I gave him access to all my security cam feeds, and he swings by the cabin every week or two to make sure the place is still standing. Gotta say, this dude might just have the cushiest fucking gig in those mountains. Literally gets paid to just cruise around all day with his dog, scope out rich people's spreads, and chill on their decks and shit between property checks. Where do I sign up? God damn. This dude must be rolling in dough 'cause he's getting $450 a month from me just for that, plus his hourly rate for any odd jobs and fixes the place needs. Oh, and get this. Fucker's apparently tight with all the sheriff's deputies in the area, too. Handy, I guess. But I can't even front. It's been a huge weight off knowing he's keeping an eye on things. He even sends out photos from his little mountain walkabouts to all his clients every week or so. Gotta admit, they're pretty fucking majestic. Almost makes me want to go up there myself. Almost. Speaking of, I got a whole new reason to sing my folks' praises after our dinner tonight. Apparently the gruesome twosome have been leaning on them hard, trying to get them to strong-arm me into opening the cabin back up to everyone for Thanksgiving. I guess that had become a whole big family tradition over the years. News to me, 'cause the wife and I only got roped into that shit show once in the last 5 years. And once was fucking enough. Pops is the real MVP, though. He straight up refused to bug me about it 'cause he already knew what I'd say. So instead, they clapped back with this master plan. They announced that they'd take the lead on putting together Thanksgiving this year, and the only way it was going to be in the mountains is if everyone ponied up in advance for an Airbnb. Otherwise, they'd just host it at their place, or one of my sisters could have the honors. Fucking brilliant. Well, that sparked a whole new war between Dumb and Dumber. The middle one was gung-ho for the Airbnb idea, but of course the oldest doesn't have 2 nickels to rub together, so that was a non-starter for her broke ass. Long story short, looks like Turkey Day is going down at my folks again. The wife and I will be sitting that one out, hard pass. The real kicker is, Ma and Pops have asked me to hold off on selling the cabin. At least for now. I guess they're still holding out hope that one day, if my sisters pull their heads out of their asses and make nice, we can all go back to one big happy family that vacations together. They want to keep using the place themselves in the meantime, but not till they're sure my sisters have accepted the New World Order. I'm over here ready to just wash my hands of the whole thing, take the money and run. But I guess I can suck it up and keep the place a while longer if it makes the folks happy. Plus, that bitch will probably be worth twice as much down the line anyway. As for me and the missus, we're still holding strong on the don't start none. Won't be none front with my sisters and their dumb fuck spouses. But that sure as shit ain't stopping them from blowing up our phones. They've both been calling from random-ass new numbers and leaving all these manipulative-ass voicemails about how I need to be the bigger person and sit down with them for our parents' sake to hash out who gets to use the cabin when. They've even started in on my wife, but joke's on them 'cause we screen our calls like motherfuckers. Unknown number? Fuck out of here, straight to voicemail purgatory. I swear I can't tell if they're just that fucking delusional or if they really think they can bully me into giving them their way again. But it's the same shit, different day. Meanwhile, the rents are telling me the oldest one and her limp dick hubby are finally getting rid of their boujay-ass leased SUV, the compensation mobile he calls a truck, and some of their other rich bitch toys they couldn't really afford to begin with. Shit's gotta be killing her, 'cause she loves nothing more than lording their wealth over everybody. My brother-in-law's whole fucking identity is wrapped up in that stupid truck, I swear. Dipshit even has the logo tattooed on him somewhere. Is it any wonder I never wanted to hang out with that loser? But yo, I gotta address this one thing, 'cause a bunch of you money-hungry vultures keep bringing it up. Yes, I am well fucking aware that I could be making bank if I turned the cabin into an Airbnb. But I already told you, that shit ain't happening. Not anytime soon anyway. I mean, yeah, the place would practically print money, but the ungodly amount of family drama it would stir up just ain't worth it. My parents definitely don't need that kind of stress in their lives. Plus, what the fuck are we supposed to do with all the personal shit they got up there? They ain't got room for it at their place. And don't even get me started on the revolving door of rando guests beating the hell out of the property. Sure, I could pay some asshole to manage it for me, but even just interviewing jagoffs for that gig sounds like the 7th circle of hell. Hard fucking pass, man. All right, jumping ahead another month and a half here 'cause I got another shit show update for all you drama vultures out there. Buckle up, motherfuckers. Full disclosure, I wrote most of this shit out yesterday, but I was still so fucking heated I had to walk away. Thought maybe sleeping on it would chill me out a little. Spoiler alert, it fucking did not. If anything, I'm even more pissed now. So my bad in advance if this is a little more unhinged and rambly than usual. There's just been so much crazy shit popping off with my whole extended clown car of a family, it's hard to even keep it straight. But long story short, shit's DEFCON 1 levels of fucked up right now. Like, I knew my sisters and their douchebag husbands were entitled pricks, But even I didn't see this fuckery coming. I don't even know where to start, so I guess I'll just rip the Band-Aid off with the headline. These motherfuckers straight up broke into my goddamn vacation home. And now their asses are locked the fuck up, facing charges out the wazoo. God damn, these motherfuckers just don't know when to quit, do they? I mean, I knew they were a special kind of entitled, but this is some next-level criminal bullshit right here. So get this. While the wife and I are off enjoying a nice, quiet Thanksgiving with her folks, my dickhead brothers-in-law decide it's a great idea to go all Ocean's 11 on my vacation home. And by that I mean they went full fucking goon squad with power tools, just cutting chains and kicking down doors like they own the place. These dumb fucks actually showed up with an angle grinder to cut through the heavy-duty chain on the driveway gate. Fucked the gate up real good in the process, too. Then they tried to strong-arm their way through the front door like a couple of 80s action movie rejects. Just absolutely wreaking hell on the lock and gouging chunks out of the door. Real subtle, guys. When that didn't work, these criminal masterminds decided to go in through the utility room door, then bust through another locked door inside. Oh, and for good measure, I guess, they broke into the goddamn barn, too. Still can't figure out what the fuck they were after in there. So these geniuses finally get inside, probably high-fiving and popping champagne to celebrate their little B&E caper. But the second they try to leave through the front door, surprise motherfuckers, sheriff's deputies and my boy David are standing right there waiting for them. See, David's a smart cookie. He gets Insta-alerts on his phone anytime the security cams pick up movement, so he saw these dipshits in real time and called 5-0 right away. And according to David, these mental giants actually tried to talk their way out of this shit in front of the cops like, "Oh no, officer, this is just a silly misunderstanding." Spoiler alert, the deputies were not fucking amused. I guess breaking into people's empty vacation homes is kind of a big deal out in bumfuck USA. Usually it's just tweakers looking to rob folks blind and pawn all their shit for meth money. So these two chuckle fucks definitely didn't fit the profile. Well, when Johnny Law snapped the cuffs on, I hear tell the gruesome twosome absolutely lost their fucking minds. Just straight up telling the deputies they were gonna beat my ass, yada yada. Real smart move. Threatening violence in front of a bunch of cops. A+ decision-making skills there. So while all this Wild West shit's jumping off, David and the sheriff's office are blowing up my phone trying to get the official go-ahead to throw the book at these clowns. But the wife and I, we're too busy living our best life in airplane mode at her folks' place, soaking up that sweet, sweet family time. Long story short, they went ahead and booked these assholes on every charge they could swing, which is exactly what I would have told them to do anyway. So now they're facing breaking and entering, destruction of property, and communicating threats. Which I guess is cop speak for telling motherfuckers you're gonna curb stomp 'em. Who knew? Oh, and these are all Class 1 misdemeanors, apparently. So in other words, they ain't exactly looking at hard time upstate, but they ain't walking away with a slap on the wrist either. Play stupid games, win stupid prizes. The fuck Knuckle Brothers apparently got their one phone call from the clink, 'cause next thing I know, my sisters are losing their goddamn minds. Just absolutely blowing up my folks trying and failing to get a hold of me and the missus, even shopping for lawyers up in East Jabib to try and get their dumbass husbands out of the pokey. But you know, good luck with that when it's bumfuck o'clock on Thanksgiving weekend. Surprise, surprise, the podunk mountain town of Sister Fuck, population. Old Man Jenkins and his pet raccoon ain't exactly teeming with 24/7 legal eagles. Oh, and here's the cherry on top of this shit Sunday. Guess who's too fucking broke to post bail for her loser husband? That's right, the older sister. Apparently her bank account's drier than a nun's snatch and her credit's maxed out to the tits. So if these dicks did make bail, sounds like Sister Hash 2 and her sucker spouse had to bankroll the whole deal. Ain't karma a bitch? Far as I know, they were still rotting in county come Saturday afternoon. The wife and I were too busy actually enjoying our little couple's getaway to deal with our blowing the fuck up phones till late Friday night on the drive back. That's when we finally clocked the 5011 missed calls and texts from my folks, David, and the sheriff's department. Talk about a buzzkill, man. I was riding high on that post-vacation afterglow till I made the rookie mistake of actually checking my damn messages. The wife, angel that she is, walked me through all the texts and voicemails while I white-knuckled the steering wheel and screamed internally. By the time we finally rolled up to the house, I had a pretty good handle on the 50 shades of fuckery that had hit the fan in our absence. But of course, that blissful fucking ignorance couldn't last. First thing I did was call up my boy David to get the full and gory play-by-play. He gave me the whole rundown, complete with a detailed description of all the unholy havoc these crotch stains had wreaked on the vacation house, which, of course, just wound me up into a blind fucking rage all over again. So, still absolutely seeing red, my dumbass decides the smart move is to ring up the sheriff's department and firmly fucking reiterate that no, this was not some silly little mix-up. These taint warts absolutely did not have my permission to go all Leroy Jenkins on my property. And yes, I absolutely want these dipshits prosecuted to the fullest fucking extent of the law. Pretty fucking please and thank you. That little rage dial was the final nail in the coffin for any shot at me catching some Z's that night. Just fucking laid there, staring holes through the ceiling, mentally replaying all the ways I wanted to go full Liam Neeson on these motherfuckers. Took me till damn near happy hour the next day to work up the sack to call my folks. I knew they had to be losing their absolute shit over this whole thing. I was right. They were a goddamn wreck, Ma especially. Apparently the gruesome twosome had been tag-teaming them non-stop, trying to guilt-fuck them into strong-arming me to tell the cops this was all just one big silly goose of a misunderstanding, and pretty please drop all the charges. Yeah, that shit wasn't happening. I told my folks in no uncertain terms there was no fucking way I was gonna let these cocksuckers off the hook. Not till I had my lawyer shit all squared away, and sure as shit not until these fucknuts paid every red cent to unfuck all the fuckery they had fucked up at the cabin. Well, that little proclamation went over about as smooth as a sandpaper dildo. Next thing I know, Ma's just absolutely fucking beside herself, ugly crying so hard I can barely even make out what she's trying to say. Which of course just rockets the guilt-o-meter inside my head straight into the red. But what the fuck was I supposed to do? Just let the two dumb motherfuckers who literally broke into my house off with a no worries bro. I know you didn't mean it, asspat. Fuck out of here with that noise. Family or not, there's gotta be some goddamn consequences for this kind of shit. Dad, to his credit, mostly kept his shit together. But I could still tell he was pretty fucking shook. I know him feeling like he couldn't really help his little princesses out of this mess of their own making was probably just eating him alive. But even he manned up enough to say that, far as he was concerned, these dipshits had officially worn out their welcome at the old family vacay spot. Indefinitely. So that's where shit stands as of now. I ain't budging on the charges. My sisters are still squawking. Their dumb fuck husbands are probably working on their prison tats. And my folks are stuck smack in the middle of this white trash soap opera dumpster fire just trying to keep it together. Oh, and me? I'm just over here still trying to process the fact that this is actually my fucking life now. This shit right here. This is why we can't have nice things. I swear to fuck, if I didn't already have high blood pressure before all this kicked off, I sure as shit do now. Honestly, just writing all this fuckery out in one place has me tensed up like a fucking coiled spring all over again. I need a drink. Or 12. Fuck me running. God damn. Hearing my ma just absolutely falling to pieces on the phone like that, it fucking gutted me, man. I mean, what's a guy supposed to do with that? Just knowing I'm the one causing her all this heartache, even if it is because my shitbird siblings can't act right to save their lives. Fuck. It's like a punch straight to the fucking soul, you know? But Pops, he wasn't letting me off the hook that easy. I mean, don't get me wrong, he wasn't riding my ass or nothing. But he did come out and say what we were all thinking. Maybe it's time to just wipe the whole fucking slate clean and start over from scratch with these assholes. Oh, and he made damn sure to mention that those dickweeds better make things right money-wise for all the damage they caused, too. Damn straight. Thing is, I ain't even had the stomach to lay eyes on the goddamn property yet. I mean, what's even the point? Not like I can unfuck whatever fuckery they fucked up just by showing up and shaking my head disapprovingly, you know? Plus, based on the photos alone, I can already tell I'm gonna hulk the fuck out and put my fist through a wall the second I see that shit in person. I'm hoping to maybe nut up and drag my happy ass up there tomorrow or Wednesday, but fuck knows my job ain't exactly the type where I can just peace out for a personal day to go on a fucking rage bender whenever I feel like it, you know? Gotta keep on keeping on and all that happy horse shit. So in the meantime, I've just been blowing up my attorney buddies' phones, trying to get the 411 on the best motherfuckers in the biz to put the legal smack down on these dipshits. And let me tell you, I got all kinds of fun and exciting ideas on how to make these fuckers' lives an absolute waking nightmare from here on out. For starters, I'm gunning hard for restraining orders out the wazoo. Luckily, I got all the receipts in the form of their psychotic text message meltdowns to back my shit up. I mean, I'm no legal eagle or nothing, but I'm pretty fucking sure a bunch of coked-out screeching harpy messages screeching about how shit's not fair and they're entitled to XYZ ought to make for a pretty compelling exhibit fucking A in front of a judge, am I right? Oh, and you best fucking believe I'm strongly considering taking these cum stains to the cleaners for every red cent they pocketed from renting out my goddamn property behind my back all these years. I mean, really, the money ain't even the point. I'm just pissed the fuck off and want to make these rat bastards suffer any and every fucking way I can. Because fuck 'em, that's why. So in other words, the kid gloves? Consider them officially fucking off. These bitches want to play fuck games. They're about to win some fuck prizes, you feel me? Oh, and get this shit. Apparently these mental midgets didn't even fucking know I had a third party up there keeping an eye on shit, or that the place was lit up with more cameras than a goddamn Vegas casino floor these days. I mean, for fuck's sake, there are literal fucking signs posted all over the property saying as much. How dense you gotta be to miss that shit? To be fair, I guess Ma and Pops knew about all that. But they kept it on the DL because they didn't want to give the gruesome twosome any extra excuses to blow shit out of proportion and stir up yet another shit-nado. Which, gotta say, good fucking call on their part, because Lord fucking knows my sisters would be pitching an absolute hissy over invasion of privacy or whatever the fuck if they knew about that shit. Because apparently fuck my privacy when they're literally breaking into my house, am I right? Unfucking real with these broads, man. But yo, the real MVP in all this clusterfuck, my badass motherfucking wife, man. This woman, I swear to God. She's put up with so fucking much of my family's trailer trash bullshit antics for so fucking long now. Always held her tongue, always took the high road, no matter how much these assholes tried to goad her or start static. But this shit right here, this shit was officially the last fucking straw for her. And she did not mince words letting my ass know it either. I mean, she straight up told me, point blank, that she's officially fucking done playing nice with these human dumpster fires. And it's high motherfucking time somebody taught them all a lesson they won't soon forget, since it's become painfully fucking clear they never learned how to act right. Now to be fair, she didn't try to get all up in my Kool-Aid about it or nothing. She made sure I knew that how I handle my dipshit siblings from here on out is 100% my fucking circus, my fucking monkeys. So that's on me. But best believe she pieced the fuck out and has officially washed her hands of this entire fucking shit show. I mean, she'll be here for me if I need to blow off some steam, of course. She's a fucking ride or die like that. But other than that, she's sitting all the way the fuck out on this one. And really, who can fucking blame her? So on my own fucking head be it, I guess. Time to put on my big boy britches and handle shit once and for all with these ungrateful, thieving, deadbeat, delusional twat waffles I'm sadly forced to call blood. Fuck me sideways with a rusty chainsaw. This ought to be a real hootenanny. Oh, and just a couple quick side notes before I forget for all you armchair psych majors trying to dissect my siblings' shit-for-brains thought processes or whatever in the comments. 1. I'm pretty fucking sure the only reason these dipshits even tried to pull a stunt like this in the first place was so they could go back to using the cabin themselves and renting it out again, since deer hunting season runs through the end of the year up there. 'Cause apparently that's been these fuckers' bread and butter for their little slumlord side hustle for fuck knows how long now. See, the place can sleep a fuck ton of people, so these greedy little fucks could easily rake in a few grand on a single big group renting it out to play Elmer Fudd in the woods for a weekend. They probably figured that still entitled them to a cut, even if I was paying all the bills on the place like a sucker. The fucking audacity, man. Hence why they broke into the barn, too. A couple of years back, I bought a fully loaded off-roading buggy that seats 6 to keep up there. I just fucking know these dickholes were already mentally spending all the beer money they charged their buddies to zip around in that fucker again this season. Bunch of presumptuous, freeloading assholes, man. All I can say is, those two dumb fucks better not have put so much as a fucking dent or ding in my baby in the midst of all their felonious fuckery. Or so help me God, I'm gonna beat wholesale ass. You do not fuck with a man's toys. So yeah, given all that, I don't think these clowns set out trying to straight trash the place or nothing. I mean, the joint means too much to my old man, and even these douche nozzles aren't quite brain dead enough to not realize burning that bridge would be biting the hand that feeds him. Seeing as Pops has let these ungrateful fucks run wild up there for years, pretty much no questions asked. But just 'cause they didn't set out to fuck shit up doesn't change the fact that their little stunt worked out about as well as a fart in a spacesuit, and now they gotta lie in the bed they shit. Fucking karma. She's a cruel mistress indeed. Anyway, I know a bunch of you smart motherfuckers love playing Detective Do-Gooder in the comments, saying I should have done this or that to head this shit off at the pass way back when. And you know what? You're probably fucking right. I mean, I knew my sisters were entitled pieces of work. I knew they were pushy as fuck and had a bad habit of boundary stomping. I knew they weren't above manipulating the folks to try and get their way. I fucking knew all that shit. So yeah, maybe if I had laid down the fucking law and been the bad guy from Jump Street, shit wouldn't have ever escalated to straight up B&E, who knows. But I'll be honest with y'all, I dodged dealing with those two twats directly for so fucking long purely to spare Ma and Pops the extra fucking heartache and bullshit. Because the fucking drama, man. The goddamn tantrums and meltdowns and flying monkeys raining emotional napalm all over the fucking place anytime someone tries to tell those broads no. I just could not fucking stomach putting the folks through that, you know? Not when they're supposed to be living it up all peaceful and whatnot in their golden years. So instead, my dumb ass tried to just grin and bear it, mostly flying under the manipulative cunt radar while still playing bullshit buffer between them and my folks whenever I could on the sly. A lot of fucking good that did, eh? But you know what they say about the road to hell and good intentions. Shoulda, woulda, coulda, and all that jazz. Fuck it. No going back now. The cat's out of the bag, the shit's hit the fan, and any other colorful fucking metaphor you want to throw out there. From here on out, these fuckers are about to find out what it means to reap the goddamn whirlwind. 'Cause the days of Mr. Nice Guy getting steamrolled are fucking over, you feel me? But circling back to the whole grandpa badass property manager sitch for a sec. So get this, I always figured him and the deputies were all buddy-buddy. Just 'cause they're all good old local boys who grew up around those parts together or whatever, right? But nah. Motherfucker used to be a big city cop for years before some junky shitbag popped a cap in his ass on duty one day. I guess that was officially the last fucking straw for old boy. 'Cause he hung up his badge and gun pretty much immediately after that and ghosted to bumblefuck nowhere to go all mountain man hermit mode near his retired folks. Apparently dude's still haunted by that shit too. Got some pretty gnarly PTSD that flares up on him from time to time. That's why he's always got his service dog glued to his hip 24/7 whenever you see him. Man's legit been to hell and back. But you know how that pig life shit is. They always gotta stick together or whatever, even long after they punch the clock on that cop job for good. Blue Line Mafia for life, I guess. So it makes sense he'd fall in with the local badge bunnies up there as his ride or die crew. Good fucking thing, too. 'Cause you best believe when these Billy badass fucksticks tried to talk their way out of shit at the scene all herdur no oxifer, you done understand? This here's all just a big silly mix-up. This is our family vacay house, I swears it. You know David was having abso-fucking-lutely none of that fuckery. Shut that shit down real quick and in a hurry, from the sounds of it. So yeah, between him and my lawyer homies on speed dial, I'm feeling pretty fucking confident I got the fucking Avengers of making assholes regret their life choices firmly in my corner. Ready to go in dry with a sandpaper condom on these motherfuckers at a moment's notice. Let's fucking go. But on the real, if I'm being 1000% fucking honest with you internet peanut gallery randos, when I take my justice boner out of the equation and really fucking think about it, I don't actually want to waste another goddamn second of my time or energy or precious fucking brain power on these ungrateful cum stains I had the misfortune of sharing a bloodline with ever fucking again after this shit. If I can help it. Like my anger management issues having ass over here is all frothing at the mouth to go full fucking scorched earth on these dumb motherfuckers. Make 'em destitute and blacklisted and fucking miserable 6 ways from Sunday just to prove a fucking point. And on straight vindictive reflex alone, I got half a fucking mind to go ahead and just fucking do it, consequences be damned. But then I take a step back and I'm like, is this really how I want to spend my fucking time? Just endlessly stuck in this toxic ass cycle with these losers, tit for tat. Anything you can fuck up, I can fuck up worse into infy fucking 90. And for what? I already know these petty bitches ain't gonna suddenly see the light and make like Ebenezer Scrooge on Christmas morning. Nah, they're just gonna get more pissed, more self-righteous, more motherfucking obsessed with punishing me for daring to take away their gravy-trained golden goose cash cow. I mean, fuck, do I really want to be sitting here in another May 10th, 20 years, still wasting my every waking moment plotting how to legally make these unrepentant assholes' lives hell? Still going balls deep on this dumbass feud that they started with their bullshit entitlement and fuckery? When my ass could be, oh, I don't know, fucking enjoying what's left of my rapidly dwindling youth. Enjoying my family, my wife, my friends who aren't flaming fucking dumpster fires. Maybe even having a little mini-me to teach how to terrorize the local base population on the weekends, like my old man did with me when I was knee-high to a pig's eye. When you put it all in perspective like that, as fucking infuriating as it is in the moment, is putting these clowns in their place really the hill I want to fucking die on in the grand scheme of shit? Because that's really what we're talking about here. If I go eye for an eye on this motherfucker, knowing what I know about how these petty little cunts operate, it ain't gonna end till one of us is in the fucking ground. And to that, all I can say is a resounding fuck no. I'm not gonna give these evil, miserable fucks the satisfaction of occupying any more space in my head than absolutely fucking necessary to get their asses out of my hair for good. They can stay mad and die mad about it, for all I fucking care at this point. So whatever happens in the short term to make these dickheads pay their proverbial pound of flesh for their transgressions. Restraining orders, criminal charges, civil suits, the whole 9 yards. After that shit gets handled, I'm making it my personal goddamn mission to live a fan-fucking-tastic life that has abso-fucking-lutely nothing to do with their worthless asses from here on out. That's gonna be my revenge, if you can even call it that. Just building myself a peaceful, drama-free existence. Surrounding myself with positive fucking people who aren't constantly trying to start shit or get one over on me. An existence where no is a complete fucking sentence and my boundaries are respected, no questions asked. Crazy fucking concept, am I right? Bunch of goddamn animals, I swear. So yeah, mark my fucking words, internet peanut gallery randos. This shit right here, this is officially the last you'll fucking hear of the gruesome twosome and their pet cum stains from me. 'Cause as far as I'm concerned, once the legal shit's settled up, they're fucking dead to me. You all have been real ones for letting me pop the fuck off about all this unfiltered. But it's high motherfucking time I stop beating this dead fucking horse and put all my energy towards more positive shit, believe that. Over and out, motherfuckers. Deuces. Well, fuck me sideways. Looks like the 2 dipshits finally got it through their thick fucking skulls that the jig is up. About goddamn time, too. So dig this shit. I'm sitting there at my desk on Thursday, minding my own fucking business, when in rolls this bike messenger with an envelope for me. Inside is this tear-stained, heartfelt apology letter signed by both my dickhead brothers-in-law, along with a fat-ass cashier's check for 5 fucking grand. These clowns are all like, oh, we're so sorry for breaking into your place. That was super fucked up of us. Our bad. Here's some cash for the damages. We'll totally cough up more if it doesn't cover everything. Oh, and pinky promise we'll never darken your doorstep again unless you specifically invite our bitch asses over. Scout's honor. Then these fuckers have the audacity to slip in a little, pretty please, with sugar on top, call off the cops, would you? 'Cause if you don't, we might lose our jobs and that would super suck for us, McKay. And they're all like, we'll even agree to a restraining order to sweeten the pot. Just make this shit go away, bruh. I mean, the fucking balls on these cum stains, am I right? But whatever, that's the gist of it. There was more flowery, we're so sowy nonsense in there, but I can't even with that shit right now. To say I was fucking gobsmacked would be the understatement of the century. I mean, this is a complete fucking 180 from their usual deny, deflect, and play victim horse shit. I honestly didn't think these fuckers were capable of this level of self-awareness, but I guess there's a first time for everything. Problem is, I've already got a shark lawyer buddy of mine on standby to rain hellfire and brimstone down on these dumb motherfuckers for the damages and to get a restraining order put in place to keep their asses far, far away from me and mine. So I ring up my boy Saul Goodman and I'm like, "You're never gonna believe the shit that just landed on my desk." He tells me to sit tight on cashing that check and to meet him after close of business so we can powwow on how to proceed. We end up locking ourselves in a conference room for 2 fucking hours going over options and shit. By the end of it, he's advising that me and the missus try to knock this shit out with a settlement and mutual release agreement for all 4 of these ass clowns, the gruesome twosome and their limp dick life partners. His rationale is that even if we sued the dog shit out of them and wiped the floor with their dumb asses in court, which he assured me would be a fucking cakewalk, it could still take for fucking ever to actually see a red cent from these broke bitches. Like, upwards of 2 goddamn years or more of legal cockfighting. Not to mention we'd have to pony up a fuck ton in lawyer fees up front just to get the ball rolling. Oh, and get this. Apparently, even if we decided to tell these cum-stains to go fuck themselves with a cactus and chose not to settle, we could still keep that $5,000 and put it towards unfucking all the shit they fucked up. No take-backsies. That sure as shit sweetened the pot a little, I ain't gonna lie. So long story short, my main man's gonna get all that shit drafted up over the weekend and have it ready to rock and roll by Monday. The agreement's even gonna include some shit about them having to stay the fuck out of our lives. The financial equivalent of a restraining order, I guess. Which fuck yes, please, and thank you. In the meantime, I had my boy David, the property manager, get his ass up to the cabin to take a detailed damage inventory so we could get an estimate on what it was going to cost to make the place good as new. Got that rundown from him first thing Friday morning. He figures worst case scenario we're looking at around $4,000 to clear this mess up, with most of that going towards an entire new fucking front door, which I guess these thunder cunts did quite the fucking number on. Fan-fucking-tastic. My legal pit bull's already gotten on the horn with the bills to let them know how shit's gonna go down and to advise their asses to lawyer the fuck up because one way or another, I'm getting every last fucking dime out of them to pay for their little temper tantrum joyride. Gotta say, I was impressed when my dude reported back that these mouth breathers took that news with their tails tucked firmly between their legs. Apparently, Middle Sister's pet troglodyte even told mine that between paying us off and trying to fight this shit in court, they couldn't afford to do both, so they'd be better off just bending over and taking it up the ass from us now. No fucking shit, Sherlock. Your little grand theft B&E stunt didn't leave you much of a legal leg to stand on. Now did it, dipshit? Play stupid games, win stupid prizes. Anywho, seems like at this point they're willing to sign whatever we put in front of them and dance like the little circus monkeys they are if it means getting these charges dropped and keeping the man off their asses. Fucking cowards. Speaking of, my boy's already working his legal voodoo magic with the DA's office to get these douche nozzles felonious fuckery taken off the books. He seems to think they'll play ball and dismiss that shit since the asshats are paying for the damages and they don't have any priors. But fuck if I know. He's the expert on this shit. Not me. Oh, but he did make it crystal fucking clear that it would behoove me. Who the fuck talks like that? To get my ass up the mountain first thing next week and butter up the prosecutor myself. Just to really drive it home that as much as I'd love to watch these fuckers fry, I'm willing to let it slide. For now. He also gave me strict orders to keep these cock mongrels on perma-ignore until the ink's dry on this shit, and to make goddamn sure my sisters and their walking hard-ons follow our little keep the fuck away from me and mine clause to the letter if they know what's good for 'em long-term. Sucks ass that it had to come to this, but based on how fast these pricks change their tune, I'd bet my left nut it finally clicked for 'em how much they stand to lose if they don't quit fucking this chicken. Between the legal fees, the fines, the potential jail time, not to mention numb nuts potentially pissing away his precious fucking security clearance and all the bullshit that comes with that. They're shook, as they fucking should be. Is it a perfect resolution? Abso-fucking-lutely not. But at least it puts an end to this reoccurring shit show that's dominated my life for the past few months. I still never want to lay eyes on any of these motherfuckers again if I can help it. But I think that feeling's probably pretty fucking mutual at this point, so at least we can agree on that much. The wife's on the same page, near as I can tell. She's so fucking over all of this, it ain't even funny. We're both just exhausted from the drama, ready to move the fuck on with our lives. I gotta say though, and I know this is gonna sound soft as all hell, but getting that fucking heartfelt apology letter really threw me for a fucking loop. And it wasn't so much the I'm so wise themselves, because I know damn well those are empty as fuck. But just the fact that these fuckers actually nutted up enough to put pen to paper and chronicle out all the shit they did wrong for once in their miserable fucking lives without making a single goddamn excuse for it. I don't mind admitting, that shit got me all up in my feelings for a minute. And before you fuckers get it twisted in the comments, this ain't about the fucking money. I mean, don't get me wrong. Them paying for their mess is absolutely fucking necessary. But if I'm keeping it a buck, the cash ain't even really registering much on my radar compared to everything else at the moment. Fuck it though, I'll still damn sure take it. Oh, and based on where these idiots pulled this cashier's check from, I'd bet dollars to donuts my numbnuts BIL and drama queen sister are the ones actually footing this bill. Which, fucking good. Maybe it'll finally impart some much-needed fiscal responsibility on those spendthrift jackoffs. But I ain't holding my breath. Welp, I think that's as succinct a recap as my rambling ass can muster for now. Soon as we get this shit signed, sealed and delivered next week, I'll try to pop back in here one more time to officially put a pin in this bitch of a saga for you kind strangers who've been my sounding board. I know I've said it before, but it bears repeating. You magnificent bastards are some real ride-or-die motherfuckers for sticking with me through this Jerry Springer meets Judge Judy legal shit show. For real. Being able to vent about all this fuckery to y'all and get some objective outside perspective has been a motherfucking lifesaver. I don't think I would have made it through this shit show with all my faculties intact otherwise. So for realsies, from the bottom of my cold, black heart, thank you. Your boy's still a bit of an emotional wreck at the moment, ain't gonna lie. But I'm getting there. Just gotta keep putting one foot in front of the other till I cross this finish line. Know what I'm saying? I swear, though, if any of you sick fucks think you're gonna slide into my DMs all pics or it didn't happen thirsty for them before and after damage photos, I'm gonna hunt your asses down and make you pay for the repairs your damn selves, you feel me? Let a man cope with this shit in peace without giving the Gawker Gallery more cannon fodder for gossip. Shit. All right. I'ma catch y'all on the flippity-flip, you lovable enablers. Spare a good thought for me when I'm staring into the abyss that is my brother-in-law's fucked-up handiwork up at the cabin in a couple of days. I'ma need all the positive juju I can get to resist the urge to whoop their asses into the new year. Fuck me running. This ought to be a real test of my anger management skills. Send booze and bail money? Half kidding. Or am I? Peace out, bitches. It's been real. And in the interest of ending shit on a lighter note, here's a little parting gift. On the first day of Christmas, my true love gave to me a burning desire to punch my BLs in the peen repeatedly. You're welcome. Feliz Navidad, motherfuckers. Stay blessed. Well, goddamn. Looks like we might actually be seeing the light at the end of this shit-stained tunnel after all. Never thought I'd see the day, but I guess even a broken fucking clock is right twice a day, eh? So here's the deal. After I finished going ham on that punching bag and worked up a little appetite, I was able to jam some grub down my gullet without wanting to puke, which helped unfuck my head just enough to be quasi-functional again. That's when I decided to nut up, stop being a little bitch, and go handle my scandal like a grown-ass man. Rolled up to the DA's office, ready to camp out in the waiting room all fucking day if I had to, just to get my 2 cents in with whoever was running point on sending my dipshit BILs up shit creek. Ended up getting some FaceTime with the assistant DA who caught this hot mess express. And let me tell you, for a lawyer, this motherfucker was actually pretty straight with me. None of that usual slippery double-talk bullshit. Brass tacks, since I'm officially washing my hands of trying to put these thundercunts nuts in a vice grip, legally speaking. And since Tweedledum and Tweedledummer already coughed up the cash to cover their damages, the DA's down to drop everything except the criminal trespassing charge. But that trespassing shit? Hoo boy, that's still gonna be a nasty little stain on these fuckers' permanent records. They're looking at having to drag their dumb asses in front of a judge, plead guilty like the lil bitch boys they are, and then fork over whatever the honorable dickhead decides their little field trip was worth in the eyes of Johnny Law. You love to see it. Oh, and if these cum stains even think about trying to fight this, or so much as jaywalk in that town ever again, I'm told it'll be a wrap for these dumb motherfuckers. They'll be turbo-fucked 6 ways from Sunday. Sucks to suck, don't it, boys? But I gotta give credit where credit's due. Apparently a big reason the DA's willing to play so nice is cause these mental midgets actually had enough brain cells firing to not try to drunkenly bum rush the cops or stage some kind of daring escape when they got caught red-handed. Shit would have gone sideways real fucking quick if they hadn't kept their felonious little mouths shut and just let the deputies snap the cuffs on like good little criminals. So after that delightful little fuck around and find out brush up on the penal code, I swung by the Popo shop to formally kiss the rings of Mayberry's finest for rolling up on my place and handling shit while I was blissfully unaware and sipping margaritas 3 counties over. I mean, that's like their entire fucking job description, but still, figured it couldn't hurt to brighten their day with a little verbal reach around, feel me? Maybe next time my dumb ass accidentally hits 95 in a 35, they'll remember what an upstanding citizen I was during all this and just let me off with a warning. Shit, a fella can dream, can't he? Only problem was the flatfoots I actually wanted to bro down with were out on the beat, so I got stuck making strained small talk with fucking Debbie the dispatcher, while the boys in blue were out there keeping the mean streets safe from the scourge of public intoxication and noise complaints. Fucking thrilling. While I was on my little goodwill tour, I tried to track down my main man, David the property manager, too. But that sneaky sumbitch must have been off doing his mountain man hermit thing, 'cause he was more scarce than a 2-legged dog at an ass-kicking contest. Go figure. But hey, this is probably a good time to drop some hot goss on this settlement agreement thing we got cooking up. Strap in, 'cause this tea's piping hot, fresh off the presses. So first things first, there's a fat-ass no-contact clause all up in this bitch, and let me tell you, it is a thing of goddamn beauty. Basically amounts to, if any of these jizz stains gets within 100 feet of me or the missus, it's their ass, and vice versa. If there's even a whiff of a chance we might breathe the same air, whoever got there last has got to bounce immediately. No ifs, ands, or buts. Oh, and if for some ungodly reason we have to jaw jack as part of this, from here on out it's got to be through our fucking lawyers or some other mutually agreed upon babysitter. Like we're a bunch of pissed off toddlers who can't use our big boy words. Fucking degrading, but if it keeps them away from me, I'll allow it. Now the money shit. Those rat bastards get to keep whatever blood money they made whoring my cabin out to their fellow degenerates behind my back. I know, it's fucking infuriating. But my boy Matlock seems to think if I push for a cut, it could potentially piss in my tax Cheerios down the line. And if that happens, you best believe I'm putting it on their tab with a fucking quickness. Uncle Sam can nibble on these nuts. I ain't paying the tax man an extra dime 'cause these dipshits couldn't keep their sticky fingers to themselves. So essentially, in exchange for letting these fuckers make a clean sneak of it, relatively speaking, everybody pinky swears not to drag anybody else into court for anything else from here until the end of time. Amen. In other words, I'ma be a bigger fucking person than I have any right to be, and they're gonna quit fucking with my shit once and for all. Or else. I mean, really, for me anyway. This shit's just putting the official rubber stamp on how things have been ever since these ungrateful pricks took a steamin' hot shit all over my life. At least this way it's in writing. Nice and legally binding like. The wife and I still gotta go to the mattresses and autograph this fucking thing, but all signs point to this finally, at long cock-sucking last, being the end of me having to waste time and precious goddamn brain cells trying to unfuck my siblings' latest and greatest fuckery. Fucking hooray. I'd pop bottles, but it's barely noon, and contrary to what my born-again Puritan parents probably think, I'm not that much of a fucking degen. At least not on weekdays. Speaking of dear old Ma and Pa, I still ain't told them shit about how we're squaring all this away. And honestly, I'm keeping that shit close to the motherfucking vest until every last T is crossed and I is dotted on this bitch, just in case. My sisters, though? I'd bet my left nut, and half my right those gossipy fucking hens have already filled the folks' heads with all sorts of one-sided woe-is-me bullshit to cover their asses and paint me as the big bad wolf who done did their precious little angels so wrong. Spare me the fucking violins. But whatever, that sounds like a big old bucket of not my fucking problem anymore. I'm sure they'll come crying to me about it eventually, since apparently I'm supposed to be Captain Save-A-Ho whenever these broads fuck around and find out. But they can miss me with that shit indefinitely. Those two are some kind of gluttons for dysfunction, I swear. And before any of you armchair Dr. Phil motherfuckers start getting all analyzed and shit in my comments, no, my sisters have never been on this level of bug-fuck crazy shenanigans before. At least not with me. I mean, we used to be solid enough back in the day, at least for siblings. Definitely wouldn't say we were tight, but shit wasn't openly hostile like this fuckery. Looking back, I guess the green-eyed monster started rearing its ugly head when I managed to snag my first little bachelor pad at 25. They were older than me, and both already shacked up with their future ball and chains by then, but neither of them had their names on so much as a lease, let alone a deed. Guess that stuck in their craws a bit. Hose mad or whatever. Shit really hit the fan when I wifed up my better half, though. See, she comes from money. Like, Daddy has a wing of the hospital named after him, Old Money. I was doing pretty okay for myself by then, too. But you best believe those jealous bitches started throwing all kinds of uppity elitist prick jabs my way once that cat was out of the bag. Crabs in a motherfucking bucket, man. Then when we tied the knot, I ended up selling my place so I could move closer to where my bougie bride was doing her hoity-toity doctor shit. Nothing crazy. Just wanted to keep the old ball and chain happy while she was busting her ass saving lives or whatever the fuck. And look, our wedding wasn't some kind of Real Housewives of the Trailer Park affair, but it damn sure wasn't a quick handy from the Justice of the Peace either. Know what I mean? Well, apparently that was enough to send my sisters into full-on eat-the-rich mode, looking at me and my fancy educated wifey like the second coming of the Rockefellers. Mind you, this was their poor dumbasses eating my open bar clean and scarfing down the top shelf surf and turf like the filthy freeloading peasants they are. But hey, why let a little thing like blatant hypocrisy get in the way of a good hater rant, right? Anyway, after that, the whole fam-damily really went to shit. Sisters and their dumbfuck spouses just raining petty parade all up and down my ass for daring to enjoy a little upward mobility. Me and the missus pretty much said fuck it, and kept our distance after that, 'cause ain't nobody got time for that high school mean girl bullshit. But we just kept on that grind, stacking that cheddar, flipping properties, being fucking responsible with our dough, living within our means and banking the rest like the boring-ass yuppie fucks we are. Then boom. A few years back, I finally had enough scratch laying around that I could surprise the old man with that cabin he'd been talking about since I was rocking Oshkosh overalls. Used the profits from my old pad, plus a little dip into the joint checking account for good measure. Nothing the wife would notice or give a fuck about, even if she did. But you bet your sweet ass I wasn't gonna give those gossipy bitches the satisfaction of knowing that. That's why moms and pops kept it on the low that I was officially lord of the manor up there. Not that I gave a red-hot shit if my sisters were jelly. But the rents knew those drama queens would be pissing and moaning to anyone who'd listen about how that bitch-ass Richie Rich brother of theirs was probably wiping his nuts with crisp hunnids just to flex on him at every turn. Fucking spare me. And honestly, before all this felonious fuckery jumped off here recently, I really thought we were all Gucci. Well, great value brand Gucci anyway, for the most part. I mean, don't get it twisted. I knew those broads were boujee as fuck for how much their broke asses brought in. I knew they'd piss on my grave for a chance to shit in my Cheerios. I fucking knew. But in that smile to your face, talk shit behind your back kind of way, you feel me? I didn't think they were ready to go full scumfuck burglary bandits on me first chance they got. I guess I just figured that kind of felonious fuckery fell more in their dirtbag husband's wheelhouse than theirs. Know what I mean? More fool me. At the end of the day, I guess you could say the last few months have been a real fucking referendum on the kind of two-faced bitches I'm related to. And brother, let me tell you, my eyes have been opened wide, whether I wanted them to be or not.